Hi, in the second video today, still 30th, Saturday 30th of January 2016, 13:48 right now. A couple of more things. Touching back on the Order of the Wolf, I realized, I've been on a little walk, and I realized, first of all, for those who care, this was the harvest. But that's unimportant. Back to the Order of the Wolf. They have people out there on severe yes-no branching. What does severe mean? It's not even forcing things that you cannot force into simply a two-choice thing down yes-no. It's actually yes-no, and each of these answers has 3 exclamation points basically. It is severe yes-knowing that they force upon some people out there in thinking things through. That Order of the Wolf, I realized, especially with the RCC fuckers out there, the splinter cells of the RCC fuckers out there, touches back to something from the hot phase. This is 2013, in the summer sometime, because I remember I sat right here on the floor. It was so fucking hot that I sat with my back to the radiator because it was a little cooler when I drew this. I'm just going to show this. I'm not sure if this makes it into the camera nicely or not. There. I could explain forever about the background of this. I would like to point out that this was before I deleted the scenario app. However, basically, it comes to the motto Nunquam aberabimus, never aberrate. Aberrate, however you pronounce it. And it had to do with what then? See, they shoved all of this shit, all of this crazy shit with which they entertain the seeming masters of mankind, such as this whole Bilderberg collection of freaks. Those people are completely mindfucked, right? It's not that they mindfuck people, they are completely mindfucked, and the New World Order and shit like that. And they shoved all of this shit my way too, in the hope that I just go on and write about and make videos about all of their crap that they have established for people to sink their teeth into and to have crap content and they can sick at people like me. What would that have been? That would have, I know it's a little sketchy. This would be an atheist, deists and agnostics for the defense, Verteidigung of, atheists, deists and agnostics for the defense of the old world order, which is basically any alliance against the new world order. There is no such thing as a new world order, I assure you. I mean, there is to the extent that there is, for example, Anubis. It is completely fake. People out there buy this shit, okay? And the idea was, because back then, summer 2013, I was still down the lines of why would people want to annihilate the Vatican and so on and so forth, right? So this was not for the defense of the Vatican. I'm a bloody atheist. This is not for the defense of the Vatican as such. And I've explained in the past how primarily it was defending Rome, really, rather than the bloody Vatican specifically that I was about. But this would have been some kind of non-religious order, namely, as I just scribble it down here, Moon's angels or Luna's angels. Forget about it. This is 2013, summer 2013 scenario forced crap. The concept as such, though, is legitimate. I mean, the no-nonsense fuckers defending the world, basically. Not the OWO. Fuck OWO. There's no old world order either. Okay? There hasn't been for 85 fucking years. And prior to that, you had no order. And certainly nothing global. Okay? But I realized that by them, again, seeking Order of the Wolf my way, which And I mentioned that the details of the recruiting were not important, and true, they weren't when it comes to explaining the nature of the ridicule. However, I realized that these details of the recruiting had a huge overlap with what I would have recruited into here. So what I'm trying to explain here is that my outright denying that Order of the Wolf idiocy that they kindly suggested to me is interpreted to some people in a strict yes-no way, that now I claim that this was bull. Which to this day, this is just sane people defending the world from the insane people. Nothing about this is crap, mind you, as a concept. And what they also try to prove is that the Nunquam Verbimus is just wishful thinking because, well, apparently he did Aberemus all over the place if that same concept, which it isn't, because that Order of the Wolf shit is not the same concept as this was, but anyhow, but they claim it is pretty much the same concept, that if this new time around, the Order of the Wolf suggested by them, if that were a crap concept, and I outright deny accepting that, then, well, somewhere I must have aberrated. I did not. This is discrediting of something from summer 2013. Okay? Just as a little explanation of some of the ongoings. Then, I have just one other, let me see, I wrote this down here. Nunquam Verbimus, I mentioned that. Well, okay, I basically explained everything about that one. And then I have another little topic here. For the people out there wondering, oh, okay. But like, seriously, I mean, how likely is it that he's all of those things? I mean, what are the odds that one guy is all of those things? Isn't that exceedingly unlikely with everything you are? The answer to that is no, it's the exact opposite. It is exceedingly likely that the more you are, the more you want to be. Call it an avalanche effect, it's just an agglomeration. It's like any fucking third-rate fucking fantasy role-playing game. Once you slew the red dragon, you will find slaying the green, the blue, and the white dragon way easier going. That is all it is. So if you think it is illogical or increasingly unlikely, you don't understand how this works. Okay? That. And I did mention the Department S being fake. I mean, Department S is not fake, but they have one or two fake episodes on the emails I showed you. Why do I care about Department S? Department S was a show I really liked as a kid. The Champions was before my time. I remember in my very late teenage or early 20s first coming across on television The Champions. I have seen the vast majority of these episodes the first time just a few weeks ago as I watched all of the episodes they have on YouTube. So The Champions were not there when I was a kid, familiar to me, but Department S was, and hence the character of Jason King was. Now, Jason King is working at Jason King and Mark Cain, first of all, are very responsible for me studying writing, not completely and only and exclusively responsible, but for me studying writing. Jason King / Mark Cain has something to do with that, but moreover, it is something that worked on the ego and con-ego part. That would be King and Cain, right? That's the ego con-ego being practiced, so to speak. First of all. Secondly, as I explained with The Professionals, which was worked on me, I assure you. And what I mean is, it wasn't just, I am rather leaning towards, I'm still not at the point where I'd say I'm perfectly sure, but I am rather leaning towards that it wasn't just passively me sitting there and it working on it, but that before the fucking Abwehrant cut that out, in my childhood, from Brit's side, there was stuff worked to make this work better than just passively being exposed to it. And when it comes to Department S, that might have also been the case. And pertaining to and here I'm getting completely banal, not sentimental, just banal, because they also kindly asked me to banalize all over the place with showing cigarette stubs into the camera and shit, and I say, okay, I got my cigarette stubs have nothing to hide. There they are. Okay? So let's get completely banalized. With Jason King in particular, something else works into it, namely this here. I'm not sure if The camera picks it up. This is an old photograph. This is from 77, it says in the background. This is my dad. Now, on this photo, he doesn't look very kingish, to be precise. This photo is dated on the back, developed in 77. It doesn't say a month, unfortunately. This is VIE, which just stands for Vienna. There. This is my dad. However, here's my birthday being celebrated. My elder sister, not his daughter, behind us. And he grew out the hair a bit. And this is, I don't have any other photos than those, but I assure you, he did wind up looking quite a bit like Jason King for a while. I ain't fucking you. Or at least, when I got to see Jason King on the TV, it so strongly reminded me of my dad. Which is why that character of Jason King was like in my face. And then you have, from Britside, people work on that. Okay? So for those people who wonder what is about all these television series, I have written in the emails what the professionals did. Department S is, I have also explained about the champions. Department S is something which every now and then utilizes the con-emos, but especially was the con-ego and ego part. That is really what it is. And that explained. Any other topics other than the snot production being cranked again, which I guess is not a topic to any of you? Typically, I mentioned in, did I actually mention this in a video? I think I actually mentioned in a video how I have countless notepads with stuff in, of this format, right? This is A4. This is just a drawing block. And even in here I hardly ever use this, but for example, I just want to show you this. This is where, you're not going to see this for long, but this is where I tried all of the, when I tried to figure out the connections and I know this is all upside down for you, and how the ports lists everything is connected and what is illegally connected about it, and so on and so forth, how you can loop the entire shit incorrectly, and so on and so forth. And I have, of this type, 4 or 5 such filled with notes and shit. Okay? It's not that I woke up one morning and I figured it all out. I worked on this for months and months and months and months, getting unbelievable torture my way. Being somewhat helped by the fact that as I mentioned previously, for almost a year or something, people didn't figure that there was a second completely independent setup. And there was a setup board. That helped immensely. Nonetheless, I did not pull all of my understanding out of my ass. Okay? I worked on this, I analyzed this. Clinically analyzed it. And to the fucking people on Albion, it is 1401 right now, which means you have 1 day and 10 hours before my ass must be on Albion. I'm just letting you know.